I always want to make, like I always want to do stuff that when we're doing stuff for music that fits it reminds you of who is this guy?
Before Eminem and 50 Cent became one of hip-hop's most powerful duos, their paths couldn't have looked more different. Back in the early 2000s, 50 Cent was fresh off surviving 9 gunshots, a moment that should have ended his career but instead made him a street legend. Still, the industry didn't want to touch him. Record labels saw him as a walking controversy, especially after he dropped his wild track, How to Rob.
I rob ODB, but that'd be a waste of time. Probably have to clap him running tours.
Where he straight up joked about robbing some of the biggest names in the game. It was bold, reckless, and unforgettable, but that wasn't all. Before he could even rebuild his name, he found himself in serious drama with Ja Rule. It all started back in 1999 when Ja was robbed at gunpoint in Queens, New York, and word spread fast that the person behind it was somehow connected to 50. Things only got worse when they crossed paths again at a club. The tension was thick. Ja reportedly got aggressive, though later he claimed he didn't even notice 50's crew was there. Sounds messy, right? That so-called misunderstanding turned into all-out war when 50 dropped the diss track Life's on the Line. The shots were clear and the beef was officially on. But the real chaos hit in 2000 when both rappers ended up at the same club in Atlanta. What should have been just another night of performances exploded into a full-on fight.
Murder, fuck around and leave you murder. I don't believe.
That night changed everything and set the stage for one of the most infamous rivalries in hip-hop history. A few months after the Atlanta brawl, things got even darker for 50 Cent. He was stabbed during a violent encounter between his G-Unit crew and Murder Inc. at Hit Factory Studios in New York City. Word on the street was that Ja Rule had been tipped off about their location that night, and chaos broke loose. It was mayhem, security scrambling, people shouting, and 50 barely making it out. By this point, 50 had built a reputation that made him one of the most targeted men in the industry. Labels didn't want to deal with him. He was seen as too dangerous, too unpredictable, and surrounded by too much smoke.
I brought it to Dre. Dre heard it. He was sold. And basically we said, let's do a joint venture. We flew him out to LA. I had a meeting with him and I sold myself to him and told him what I wanted to do. And then got Dre involved. We had a meeting the next day.
But instead of backing down, 50 kept pushing forward. Producer Shaw Money XL told him he just copped a new house and offered it as a recording spot. So 50 rolled up with his crew, found a hungry DJ named Who Kid, and together they started flooding the streets with mixtapes. Those tapes were raw, fearless, and straight from the gutter, and somehow they ended up in Detroit. That's where Eminem comes in. Slim Shady got his hands on those tapes, and once he pressed play, he couldn't stop. The hunger, the wordplay, the energy, it blew him away. Eminem later said it was like finding a mirror image of himself. Soon after Dre and M made their move, when the ink finally dried, 50 proudly declared, "I'm on the dream team now. I got the two coolest bodyguards, Dr. Dre and Eminem." The deal was legendary. A joint venture between Eminem's Shady Records and Dre's Aftermath, all under the powerhouse of Interscope. Just like that, a hip-hop empire was born. With Dr. Dre and Eminem both in his corner, 50 Cent couldn't have asked for a better setup. The studio was pure magic. Dre crafting the beats, Eminem sharpening the lyrics, and 50 bringing that raw street energy that no one could replicate. In 2002, they joined forces for the track Rap Game from the 8 Mile soundtrack, a glimpse of what was coming next. Then, in 2003, 50 dropped the album that changed rap forever, Get Rich or Die Trying. It wasn't just a debut, it was a takeover. Eminem jumped on 2 songs, including Patiently Waiting.
For your ass, keep thinking I'm pussy right now on the edge. So don't push my aim. Patiently waiting to make it through all the hating, debating whether
where 50 proudly shouted out, "Marshall, my favorite white boy." That moment said it all. Their bond was real, built on respect and hustle. Eminem even appeared in the In Da Club music video, turning it into a cultural explosion. The chemistry between them was insane. They performed together, supported each other publicly, and built a brotherhood in an industry where loyalty was rare. But while their friendship grew stronger, their enemies got louder. The 50 verses. Ja Rule beef was already a wildfire, but when Eminem signed 50, it turned nuclear.
I ain't digging no hole for this rap game, but I'm telling you, no, it ain't happening.
Ja felt betrayed and furious, so he took things way too far, dropping a diss that mentioned Eminem's daughter. That crossed the line completely. M wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back with Haley's Revenge, a track that hit personal and hard, featuring his daughter's voice. And just when fans thought the drama couldn't escalate more, 50 and Eminem teamed up again on Hail Mary, a ruthless remix where they clowned Ja Rule for trying and failing to replace Tupac. The shots were brutal, the message was clear, and hip-hop was never the same again. By 2006, Eminem and 50 Cent were unstoppable, and they dropped another banger together, You Don't Know. The track was pure fire, solidifying their spot as one of the fiercest duos in hip-hop. But behind the fame and success, Eminem was silently fighting his darkest battle yet. Between 2002 and 2008, his struggle with addiction nearly broke him. In 2006, things took a heartbreaking turn when he lost his best friend, Proof, a death that shattered him completely. Marshall later admitted that it pushed him right back into the spiral, saying that after losing Proof, he just didn't care anymore. He confessed there were days when he couldn't get out of bed, just lying there, crying, numb from everything.
I'ma keep this one. He got a few of them.
Let me just say something right quick. Every year, you don't get to keep these when you go backstage. They exchange them and everything, but I'm telling you, 50 is the only person that I've ever seen that's got to keep a Moon Man. 50 told me if I win an award, he wants to come out here and hold this for me so he gets used to what Moon Men feel like and how heavy they are, because he's probably gonna get a lot of them.
His health collapsed and the world barely recognized him. At one point, Eminem weighed around 230 pounds at just 5 feet 8 inches. That's how deep the pain went. The addiction had fully taken control. There's even an interview clip where 50 Cent had to literally save the day. M was so high he could barely respond, slurring his words and zoning out, while 50 smoothly stepped in and answered every question like a real brother. Later, M himself recalled that dark time, saying, "Things started getting really bad when me, 50, and G-Unit did 106 in Park. We performed You Don't Know, and during the interview, I couldn't even understand the host. 50 had to take over completely. It was the moment everyone realized the wheels were coming off. The addiction didn't stop there. One of his doctors started prescribing him a new type of pill, supposedly to lift his mood.
Stole my mojo.
I'm gonna give it right back though.
Give it back right now.
Okay.
Just one was supposed to help for a day, but M began taking more and more, chasing a numbness that never lasted. When his kids went to sleep, he'd take one, then another, and still feel empty. It was heartbreaking. The world saw a superstar, but behind closed doors, he was fighting for his life. Not long after that spiral began, Eminem's body finally gave out. About half an hour after popping those pills, he felt his insides twisting in pain. He barely made it to the bathroom before collapsing, phone in hand, dialing for help while lying on the cold floor. When the paramedics arrived, they discovered the horrifying truth. He'd overdosed on methadone. Doctors said he was minutes away from not making it.
Your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut, so what's Haley gonna be when she grows?
But even after surviving that near-death experience, the nightmare didn't stop. Just a week after leaving the hospital, M went right back to using. He said he couldn't sleep without it. The doctors warned him that another relapse could be fatal, but he was already deep in it. Every morning felt like a countdown to the end. He admitted later that he woke up each day thinking, maybe this is it. Then came the turning point, rehab. When M finally finished treatment, he poured his pain and recovery into music, dropping Relapse. The album featured 50 Cent on the explosive hit Crack a Bottle, which marked his return to form. According to 50, M even planned a follow-up, Relapse 2, but later scrapped it, feeling like he needed to evolve beyond that dark era. One track that never made it onto the sequel, Is This Love, was later revealed in 2012, another hidden gem from their creative vault. 50 has always shown deep respect for M's legacy, once saying, "I think Eminem is more important to hip-hop than people actually credit him for." That bond wasn't just about music, it was real friendship. And that same year, 50 landed in the hospital after eating a bad burger that left him seriously ill. While he was lying there miserable, Eminem called him up with that trademark dark humor and said, "Yo, Fifth, you got shot 9 times. If you die over a burger, this ain't gonna look right." Even in the worst moments, M knew exactly how to make his brother laugh. It was proof that their connection went way beyond fame. It was loyalty, survival, and love through chaos. When it comes to music, 50 Cent has always trusted Eminem's ear. He once said, "He's one of my best friends. I can trust that he'll always be real with me, even when it's tough to hear." Before dropping new tracks, 50 made sure M heard them first because he valued that honesty. If Eminem didn't feel it, 50 knew the people probably wouldn't either. That's how much he respected his judgment. In 2015, the two were offered what would later become one of the biggest emotional songs of the decade, See You Again. But here's the wild twist.
And he's also helped me through a lot of hard times in my own life, and he's always been there when I need him. So 50, congrats on your star, man. Hollywood is making official what I knew from the beginning and Dre knew from the beginning.
They turned it down. At the time, Eminem was already knee-deep in creating the Southpaw movie soundtrack, and he couldn't commit to the Furious 7 project. So 50 and M had to make a tough call. As 50 explained, we had to choose between doing that or the song for Fast and Furious, and that record turned into a massive hit for Wiz Khalifa. But we picked Southpaw because M was invested in the film. That single decision changed history.
M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like I'm a Shady aftermath. The Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some.
See You Again went on to break records worldwide, but neither 50 nor M had regrets. Their loyalty to their own craft mattered more than chasing another hit. And that loyalty never faded. When Eminem dropped his explosive diss on Donald Trump, 50 was right there in his corner, posting on Instagram, "Still #1, love you bro, you my friend for life." The Brotherhood was unshakable. Then came 2018, the year Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly went to war. Their feud shook the entire rap world. And once again, 50 was ready to ride for his friend. He jumped online saying, "Man, do you see this? Think about it. The biggest hip-hop song on YouTube, and now everybody got to take an L because of MGK." You could hear the disbelief and pride all at once. No matter how wild things got, one thing was clear. 50 always had M's back, no questions asked. Damn, how many times y'all played that? 50 Cent joked on Instagram, hyping up their track, "Get the Strap." The chemistry between him and Eminem never faded. It was brotherhood mixed with business, and fans loved every second of it. In 2019, they surprised everyone again with another unexpected collab, this time teaming up with Ed Sheeran. The blend of Ed's smooth vocals and their hard-hitting rap verses was something no one saw coming, but it worked. Then in 2020 came a moment that hit everyone right in the heart. Eminem stood proudly beside 50 Cent during his Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony, delivering a rare emotional speech. You could feel the respect, decades of loyalty and brotherhood, all captured in one unforgettable moment. Later, 50 revealed in an interview how M cracked a joke referencing the song The Woo, leaving everyone laughing. It showed that even with all the fame, their friendship stayed real and grounded. Fast forward to 2021, 50 Cent shifted gears into TV, producing the hit series Black Mafia Family, BMF, a gritty crime drama about one of the most infamous drug organizations in American history. Naturally, he reached out to his longtime friend to make a cameo. 50 wanted Eminem to play White Boy Rick, a legendary figure in Detroit's criminal scene. But convincing M wasn't easy. In an interview, 50 admitted that M was hesitant at first, still haunted by his tough experience filming 8 Mile. That movie changed his life, and not all for the better. After the cameras stopped rolling, Marshall spiraled deeper into addiction. So stepping back into that world, even for a cameo, brought back painful memories. Still, the fact that 50 even asked showed just how much he trusted Eminem, both as an artist and as a brother who's been through the fire and lived to tell the story. Then came 2022, the year Eminem and 50 Cent made history on one of the biggest stages in the world, the Super Bowl halftime show. Their performance was nothing short of legendary. Pure nostalgia, energy, and raw talent. But as always, greatness comes with drama. Not long after the show, Snoop Dogg appeared on Drink Champs, and 50 couldn't resist jumping into the conversation. He hopped on Instagram and threw major shade, posting, "Why would he have to say that? That should be the question. N-O-R-E. Your big homie out here trying to look like a gay painter." That jab was aimed straight at Jay-Z, mocking his Jean-Michel Basquiat-inspired hairstyle. And 50 wasn't done. In another post, he called out Hav for referring to Eminem as the white boy. 50 wrote, "Why didn't he say the biggest rap artist in the world instead?" You could feel the tension brewing. He made it clear. M deserved respect for his legacy, not labels. After that show, their phones were blowing up. Even the World Cup organizers reached out, offering them a massive deal to perform together. The budget? A jaw-dropping $9 million, with $8 million for Eminem and $1 million for 50. But in a shocking twist, M turned it down. Despite the payday, he simply wasn't interested, a move that only proved how little fame and money mattered compared to his principles. Still, 50 later told fans that what they shared went far beyond business. It was real friendship, one built on loyalty, mutual respect, and decades of riding for each other when it mattered most. And that's what makes their bond so legendary. These two have stood through the storms, the hits, the fame, and the fights, and they're still brothers for life. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more wild stories like this one. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's your favorite Eminem and 50 Cent moment? See you in the next video.